The smell of grilled burgers hung in the air while I stood at the barbecue, turning patties and chatting with the neighbors. It was one of those easy Saturday afternoons when people just drifted into our backyard without a plan. The beer was cold. The conversation moved along on its own. For once, I felt relaxed. My wife, Ashley, held court by the patio table, waving her hands around with her third glass of wine. She always turned lively after a few drinks, and today was no different. I heard her voice above everyone else, but I did not tune in until I caught my own name. "Seriously, who wants to trade husbands?" she said. "Mine is low maintenance and has absolutely no ambition." The talk around the grill died all at once. I felt the attention swing to me and then swing back to her. The quiet stretched and kept stretching. Some of the guys stared down into their bottles, clearly embarrassed on my behalf. Then Jessica, our neighbor from 2 doors down who had just gone through a divorce, stepped forward with a smile. "You know what?" she said. "I will take him." Ashley's laugh stopped halfway out. The smug look on her face slipped. Jessica kept going. "When should I pick him up?" The quiet that followed was heavy. I watched Ashley's face shift from confusion to shock to something close to panic. She had not expected anyone to answer her joke. I set the spatula on the side shelf of the grill and walked over to her. Every bit of small talk in the yard was gone. All eyes settled on us. "Well, honey," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "I appreciate the marketing. Should I start packing now, or would you like to help me load the truck?" Ashley opened and closed her mouth. The color left her cheeks as the moment sank in. "It was just a joke," she stammered. "Was it?" I asked, folding my arms. "Because Jessica sounds pretty serious. And after the glowing review you just gave me, I am starting to think she is getting a decent deal." Jessica stepped closer, clearly enjoying the show. "Low maintenance sounds perfect to me," she said. "Ambition is overrated. I would rather have a man who knows how to enjoy his life." The neighbors tried not to stare. They failed. I saw a few wives whisper to each other. A couple of the guys wore crooked little smirks. Ashley tried to laugh it off. "Come on," she said. "Everyone knows I was kidding." "Do they?" I asked. "From where I am standing, it sounded like you wanted to get rid of me. And now that someone is interested, you look upset." She grabbed my arm hard enough to leave marks. "Can we talk in private?" I eased my arm free. "Why? You did not mind listing my flaws in front of everyone 1 minute ago. What changed?" Jessica stood with her arms crossed, watching with open amusement. "The offer stands," she said in a sweet tone. "I am not going anywhere." Ashley shot her a look that could melt a steel beam. "This is between me and my husband." "Actually," I said, "you made it everyone's business the moment you tried to auction me off at a neighborhood barbecue. Jessica has as much right to stand here as anyone." The air felt thick enough to slice. I could see Ashley doing the math, trying to regain control, but the damage was done. She had humiliated me in front of our neighbors, and now they were all watching her try to undo it. "Fine," she said through clenched teeth. "We will discuss this at home." "Will we?" I asked. "Because it sounds like you already made your position clear. Low maintenance. No ambition. That was your professional assessment of your husband, and you gave it to a crowd. What is left to discuss?" Desperation showed in her eyes. "You are being ridiculous. You know I did not mean it like that." "How did you mean it then?" I asked. "Please explain it to us. I am pretty sure everyone here heard what I heard." Jessica spoke again. "I heard a woman who does not appreciate what she has," she said. "That is her loss." Ashley rolled her eyes. "Nobody asked you." "Actually," I said, "you asked the whole yard. You wanted to know who would trade husbands. Jessica answered you. Now you are angry because someone took you up on your offer." The party was no longer a party. It was a live television drama, and everyone was dialed in. I will not lie. I was enjoying it. Ashley saw she was losing, and she was losing fast. "We are going inside now," Ashley said. "Are we?" I asked. "Because I am having a pretty good time out here. The company is better than I expected." Jessica smiled at that. "Much better company." Ashley's face turned red, and not from the wine. She was furious, and she was humiliated. For the first time in years, I did not care. "Choose," she said, her voice low and sharp. "Them or me." I looked around at the neighbors, then at Jessica, and finally back at my wife. Here was the woman who had just tried to mock me in front of everyone we knew. "That is an interesting ultimatum," I said, "especially coming from someone who just spent the last 5 minutes telling everyone why I am not worth keeping." The look she gave me told me she knew she had pushed too far. We both knew it. Still, I was not done. After the last neighbor wandered out of the yard, we cleaned up in silence. I stacked chairs and scooped up empty beer bottles. I could feel Ashley's glare on me the whole time, but I did not give her the satisfaction of looking back. Let her sit with it. As soon as we stepped inside, she exploded. What the hell was that back there? I hung my keys on the hook and turned to face her. That was you learning what happens when you try to humiliate your husband in public. It was a joke. Was it funny? I asked. Because nobody was laughing. Well, except Jessica. She seemed to think it was hilarious. Her face twisted with anger. Do not you dare bring up that divorced vulture. She was trying to cause problems. Problems? I laughed. She was the only honest person there. You offered to trade me away like a used car, and she said she would take me. What is the problem with that? The problem is that you played along. You embarrassed me in front of our neighbors. I let that sit for a moment. I embarrassed you. Let me understand this. You stood in front of everybody and said your husband has no ambition and is not worth keeping. But I am the one who embarrassed you. She opened her mouth to answer, but I was not finished. You want to know what is truly embarrassing? Living with someone for 8 years who thinks so little of me that she jokes about trading me off. You want to know what is embarrassing? Watching my wife drink too much wine and turn me into entertainment for the neighborhood. I was just being social. No, I said, my voice getting harder. You were being cruel. And the only reason you are upset now is because it backfired. You expected me to stand there and take it. Maybe chuckle and play the part of the clueless husband. Her silence told me I had it right. Here is what you did not count on, I said. Someone actually wanted what you were so eager to throw away. And now you are panicking because you realize you might actually lose it. You are my husband. Am I? Because 5 minutes ago you were trying to give me away to anyone who would take me. She started pacing, her hands shaking. You cannot be serious. Jessica is just a desperate, divorced woman looking for attention. And what are you? I asked. The question hung in the air. She stopped pacing and stared at me. What is that supposed to mean? It means you should look in the mirror before you start throwing stones. You say Jessica is desperate, but you are the one married to a man you apparently do not respect. You are the one who stays with someone you say has no ambition. What does that make you? Her face went pale. That is different. How? Because we are married. We have a life together. Do we? I asked. Because from where I am standing, we share a house and a stack of bills. But a life, a real partnership? I am not seeing it. I walked to the refrigerator and pulled out a beer. Do you want to know what I realized today? I have been making excuses for your behavior for years. I kept telling myself you were having a bad day, or you had too much to drink, or work had you stressed. I do not know what you are talking about. Of course you do not. You have been disrespecting me for so long that you think it is normal. The little comments. The eye rolls when I talk. The way you brush off everything I say. I thought that was just marriage. I took a long drink and really looked at her. Watching Jessica today made something clear. A woman who truly appreciates her man does not try to trade him away at a barbecue. So what? You are going to run off with the divorced neighbor? I am going to stop accepting disrespect from my wife. The words hit her like a shove. She actually stepped back. What does that mean? It means the days of you treating me like a burden are over. It means you do not get to joke about my ambition or my worth, especially not in front of other people. And if I do not agree to your terms? I set the beer on the counter and met her eyes. Then Jessica's offer is still on the table. The color drained out of her face. You would not. Try me. We stood there in a long, hard silence. I could see her mind racing, hunting for a way to take control again. For the first time in our marriage, I was not backing down. This is ridiculous, Ashley said at last. You are overreacting to a stupid joke. Am I? I asked. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you said something genuinely kind about me? When was the last time you built me up instead of cutting me down? She started to speak, then shut her mouth. That told me enough. My phone buzzed with a text message. I checked the screen and could not help but smile when I saw Jessica's name. Hope you are all right after that drama. If you need to talk, I am next door. Ashley caught the change in my face. Who is that? Jessica. Delete it, she said. I looked at her like she had lost her mind. Excuse me. Delete the message. Block her number. I do not want her reaching out to you. And why would I do that? Because I am your wife. The same wife who tried to give me away 2 hours ago. She was starting to unravel. That was different. I was just talking. And now Jessica is just talking. What is the difference? The difference is that she is trying to take my husband. I laughed, and there was no warmth in it. Take. You cannot take something that was being handed out for free. That landed hard. She sank onto the couch, the fight going out of her. This is not how tonight was supposed to go. How was it supposed to go? I asked. You insult me. Everyone laughs. Then we come home and pretend none of it happened? She did not answer, which said enough. I finished my beer and headed for the stairs. I am going to bed. We can talk tomorrow, after you think about what you really want. Where are you going? The guest room. You cannot be serious. Dead serious. Good night. As I climbed the steps, I heard her start to cry. For the first time in years, I did not feel the urge to turn around and comfort her. Things were going to change in this house. I woke up the next morning to the smell of bacon and eggs. When I walked into the kitchen, Ashley stood at the stove in her best apron, hair fixed, makeup perfect, the whole domestic goddess act. Good morning, honey, she said in a voice so sweet it could give you a toothache. I made your favorite breakfast. I poured a cup of coffee and sat down at the table. What is the occasion? Can a wife not make breakfast for her husband? This wife can. The question is whether she will do it without a hidden reason. Her smile slipped a little. I thought we could talk about yesterday. Clear the air. The air seems clear to me. She set a plate in front of me, piled high with bacon, eggs, and toast, all cooked exactly right. Look, maybe I had a little too much wine yesterday. Maybe I said some things I did not mean. Maybe, I said. Okay, she continued. I definitely said things I did not mean. That is not who I really am. You know that. I took a bite of eggs and looked at her. I think that is exactly who you are. Yesterday was just the first time you said it out loud with witnesses. Color rose in her cheeks. That is not fair. Is it not? When was the last time you bragged about me to your friends? When was the last time you told someone you were lucky to be married to me? She went quiet. I do not really think about that. No, you do not. But you do think about every way I let you down. Those parts you have no problem sharing. Before she could answer, the doorbell rang. Through the front window, I saw Jessica on the porch with a coffee mug in her hand. Ashley's shoulders tightened. Do not answer it. I stood and opened the door. Morning, Jessica. Morning, she said. Sorry to bother you, but I ran out of sugar and was hoping to borrow some. The store does not open for an hour. Of course. Come on in. Ashley stepped into the doorway like a guard dog, keeping that practiced smile on her face. Oh, Jessica, what a surprise. Hope I am not interrupting anything, Jessica said, though her tone said she did not care if she was. Not at all, I said. We were just having breakfast. Would you like some coffee? That would be lovely. Thank you. Ashley's smile pulled tighter. Actually, we were having a private conversation. Were we? I asked. I thought we were finished. Jessica looked between us with open amusement. Am I missing something? Not really, I said, pouring her a cup. Ashley was explaining how yesterday was one big misunderstanding. Oh, the barbecue thing. Jessica waved it off. There was no misunderstanding on my end. I meant every word. Ashley set her mug down too hard on the counter. I think there has been enough talk about yesterday. Has there? Jessica asked. Because I have been thinking it over, and the more I think, the more I like the idea. What idea? Ashley asked through clenched teeth. Trading husbands, Jessica said. Or in this case, since I have no one to trade, simply taking yours off your hands. The kitchen went dead quiet. Ashley looked ready to burst, and Jessica was enjoying every second. That is not going to happen, Ashley said at last. Why not? Jessica asked, all innocence. Yesterday, you made him sound like he was more trouble than he was worth, Jessica said to Ashley. Low maintenance and no ambition. I believe those were your exact words. That was a joke, Ashley snapped. Was it funny? Jessica asked, borrowing the exact line I had used the night before. I could not help but smile. That is what I asked her. And what did she say? She is still working on an answer. Ashley smacked her palm on the counter. Stop talking about me like I am not standing right here. Sorry, I said. We are being rude. Jessica, my wife was just telling me she did not mean what she said yesterday. Apparently, it was all the wine talking. Ah, Jessica said with a wise nod. In vino veritas. What? Ashley frowned. It is Latin, I said. It means, in wine there is truth. Ashley's face went from red to a deep purple. Are you two ganging up on me now? Nobody is ganging up on anyone, Jessica said calmly. I am simply saying alcohol does not invent ideas. It just takes away the filter that usually stops us from saying them out loud. That is ridiculous, Ashley said. Is it? I asked. Because the version of you who is drinking and the version of you who is sober seem to share the same opinion about my so-called lack of ambition. I never said that, Ashley shot back. Not yesterday. Not in front of 20 people. You literally used those exact words, I said. She was getting desperate. Fine. Maybe I think you could be more ambitious. Is that such a crime? Most wives want their husbands to aim higher. More what? Jessica asked. More success? More money? More drive? Yes. More of all of that, Ashley said, waving her hands. Look around. We live in a middle-class neighborhood, in a middle-class house, with middle-class everything. So, Jessica pressed. So we could have more, Ashley said. He could push harder, work longer, make more money. Instead, he is content to just exist. I set down my coffee cup and looked straight at her. There it is. The real truth. What truth? She asked. You are embarrassed by our life. You are embarrassed by me. That is not what I said. It is exactly what you said, I replied. You just dressed it up in different words. Jessica watched us like it was the most interesting show on television. May I ask you something? She said to Ashley. What? What exactly do you contribute to this household? Ashley's mouth fell open. Excuse me. It is a simple question, Jessica said. You are criticizing your husband for not being ambitious enough, not making enough money, not pushing hard enough. What do you bring to the table? I am his wife. That is not a contribution, Jessica said. That is a title. The room went quiet. I could almost hear the gears turning in Ashley's head as she tried to form a reply. I take care of the house, she said at last. Do you work? Jessica asked. I am between jobs right now, Ashley said. How long have you been between jobs? Jessica asked. Ashley looked at me as if I would save her, but I was curious too. A few months, she said. Try 18 months, I said quietly. Jessica raised her eyebrows. 18 months. And you are criticizing him for a lack of ambition. That is different, Ashley said. How? Jessica asked. Because I am looking for the right opportunity, Ashley said. For 18 months. Ashley was flustered. This is none of your business. You made it my business yesterday when you offered to trade him to me, Jessica said. I stood and walked to the window. Outside, a few neighbors were mowing lawns and trimming hedges, just another Sunday morning. Inside, my marriage was cracking down the middle. And to be honest, I was at peace with that. You know what I realized last night? I said, still looking out at the street. I have been apologizing for who I am for years. I have been making excuses for why I am not rich enough, not successful enough, not ambitious enough for you. That is not true, Ashley said. I turned back to face them. Is it not? How many times have you told me to ask for a promotion? How many times have you told me to find a better job? How many times have you made it clear that what I do is not good enough for you? She did not answer. Here is the thing, I said. I like my job. I am good at it. It pays well enough for us to live comfortably. Most important, it gives me time to enjoy my life instead of chasing some impossible idea of success. Jessica smiled. That sounds perfect to me. Ashley shot her a glare that could have cut glass. Nobody asked you. Actually, I said, you did. You asked everyone yesterday. And my answer has not changed, Jessica added. When should I pick him up? The question hung in the air like smoke. Ashley's face cycled through half a dozen emotions and landed on pure rage. Get out, she told Jessica, her voice shaking. Get out of my house right now. Your house? Jessica asked, lifting an eyebrow. I thought it belonged to both of you. Although, given that you have been unemployed for 18 months, I am guessing his name is the only one on the mortgage. I could not help a small smirk. She was right. We bought the place before we were married, and I never added Ashley to the deed. That is it, Ashley screamed. I want her out now. Why? I asked, calm as a pond. She came over to borrow sugar, remember? We have not given her any yet. Do not play games with me, Ashley said. I am not playing games, I said. I am trying to understand why a simple conversation has you this upset. Jessica stood and smoothed her dress. Maybe I should go? I can see I am making someone uncomfortable. No, I said, steady and firm. You are not making me uncomfortable. Stay as long as you like. Ashley spun on me. Are you out of your mind? Actually, I said, I think I am finally thinking clearly for the first time in years. She is trying to steal you from me, Ashley said. How can she steal something you do not seem to want? I asked. I never said I did not want you, she shot back. You did not have to say it, I said. You showed it yesterday in front of half the neighborhood. Jessica settled into her chair again and took a slow sip of coffee. This is better than cable television. Be quiet, Ashley snapped. That is no way to talk to a guest, I said. Guest? Ashley barked. She is not a guest. She is a home wrecker. A home wrecker? I laughed. What home? The one where you spend your days complaining about your husband to anyone who will listen? The one where you have been out of work for more than a year while you criticize my work ethic? That home. She sputtered, reaching for control. We can work through this. We can go to counseling. Can we? I asked. Because yesterday you made it pretty clear that I am not worth the effort. I was drunk, she said. And now you are sober, I replied. And you are still trying to tell me what to do and who I can talk to. Jessica cleared her throat. If I may interrupt this domestic discussion, I have a question. What? Ashley demanded. Do you even like your husband? The question was so simple and so straight that it froze the room. Ashley opened her mouth and then shut it again. Of course I do, she said. He is my husband. That is not what I asked, Jessica said. I asked if you like him as a person. Do you enjoy being around him? Do you look forward to him coming home from work? Do you laugh at his jokes? Do you find him interesting? The quiet stretched and kept stretching. Ashley looked like she was grappling with what should have been the easiest questions in the world. See, that is the difference between us, Jessica said. I have had exactly 3 conversations with your husband, and I already know my answers. Yes, 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 and yes. You do not know him like I do, Ashley said. Maybe that is the problem, Jessica said gently. Maybe you know him so well that you stopped seeing the good parts. Maybe you have been staring so hard at what you think is wrong that you forgot what is right. I stood and walked to the sink, rinsing my coffee cup. You know what? I think this conversation has run its course. Good, Ashley said. Jessica can leave, and we can get back to normal. That is not what I meant, I said. She went still. What did you mean? I mean, I am done pretending this marriage is working. I am done taking criticism from someone who brings nothing to the table. And I am done being treated like a consolation prize. You cannot be serious, she said. Dead serious, I said. Jessica finished her coffee and stood. Well, this has been enlightening. Thank you for the coffee and the show. Wait, I said. You came for sugar, remember? Oh, right. She smiled. Although this conversation has been sweeter than anything I could bake. I grabbed a bag of sugar from the pantry and poured some into a container. There you go. Thank you. You are very kind, she said. Ashley watched us like we were sealing a secret deal. What is really going on here? Nothing is going on, I said. I am helping a neighbor. Jessica turned to Ashley with a curious look. May I ask one more thing? Ashley sighed. What now? Why do you want to keep a husband you clearly do not respect? Because he is mine, Ashley said. That is not a reason, Jessica replied. That is possessiveness. I love him, Ashley said. Do you? Jessica asked. Because love usually looks like respect, admiration, and support. I have not seen any of that from you. You do not understand our relationship, Ashley said, voice rising. I understand enough, Jessica said. I understand that he works hard to support both of you while you sit at home and tear him down. I understand that you are so unhappy with your life that you take it out on the one person who is supposed to be your partner. That is not fair, Ashley said. Is it not? I asked. When was the last time you said thank you for anything I do? When was the last time you acknowledged that I work 40 hours a week to pay for this house, the car you drive, and the food you eat? I should not have to thank you for doing what you are supposed to do, she said. And there it is, Jessica said softly. You think he owes you everything, and you owe him nothing. That truth hit hard. Ashley actually stepped back. That is not. I do not. Yes, you do, I said. You think being married to you is reward enough for everything I provide. You think I should be grateful that you tolerate me. Stop twisting my words, she said. I am not twisting anything, I said. I am finally hearing them clearly. Jessica moved toward the door. I should go, but thank you for the coffee and the sugar. Anytime, I said, walking her to the entryway. She leaned in so only I could hear. I mean that. Anytime. I nodded. I know. After she left, I turned back to the hallway. Ashley stood there with tears running down her face. How could you do this to me? Ashley said. Do what? Humiliate me? Flirt with another woman in front of me? Act like our marriage means nothing? Our marriage. I let out a laugh with no humor in it. What marriage are you talking about? Do you mean the arrangement where I work and pay the bills while you complain about everything I do? That marriage? We took vows, she said. Yes, we did. For better or worse. In sickness and in health. To love and to cherish. Tell me, which of those vows have you kept lately? She did not have an answer. I am going out, I said, grabbing my car keys. Where are you going? Does it matter? You say I have no ambition anyway. Maybe I will just drive around aimlessly like the loser you married. Do not leave. We need to talk about this. No, we do not, I said. We have talked enough. I need to think. I walked out. I heard her crying, and for the second time in 2 days, I did not feel the pull to go back. Some bridges, once burned, do not get rebuilt. I drove for 2 hours and turned everything over in my mind. When I came back, Ashley sat in the living room with red eyes and a notebook in her hands. I wrote down all the things I appreciate about you, she said, holding it up like a peace offering. I sat across from her. Let me guess. Good provider. Faithful husband. Reliable. Her face fell. How did you know? Because those are not things you appreciate about me as a person. Those are just functions I perform. That is not true. Read the list. She looked down. You work hard. You pay the bills. You are dependable. You never cheat. You help around the house. Stop. I raised my hand. Do you hear yourself? Everything on that list is about what I do for you, not who I am. I do not understand the difference, she said. I know you do not. That is the problem. She closed the notebook and leaned forward. Tell me what you want me to say. I do not want you to say anything. Words are cheap. You have proved that. Then what do you want? I want you to pack your things. The color drained from her face. What? You heard me. Pack your things and leave. You cannot be serious. This is my home. No, I said. It is my home. Your name is not on the deed, remember? And since you do not work, you do not contribute to the mortgage. She was shaking. You cannot throw me out. Actually, I can. And I am. Where will I go? That is not my problem anymore. She started to cry harder. Please do not do this. I am sorry. I will change. No, you will not. You will be good for a week, maybe 2, and then you will go right back to treating me like trash. I am done with that cycle. I love you, she said. No, you do not. You love what I provide. You love having someone to blame for your unhappiness. But you do not love me. My phone buzzed. A text from Jessica. Everything okay? I saw you drive off earlier. Ashley noticed. Is that her? Yes. Delete it. No. I am your wife, she said. I should come first. I looked at her for a long moment. You should. But yesterday you made it clear that you do not want to be first. You want to be right. You want control. You want to be the victim. I stood and headed for the stairs. You have until tomorrow morning to pack your things. And then what? And then you figure out how to be an adult for the first time in 18 months. This is all her fault, she said. She put these ideas in your head. I stopped and turned. Jessica did not put anything in my head. She pointed to what was already there. The difference is she sees value in what you keep throwing away. So you are choosing her over me? I am choosing respect over disrespect. I am choosing appreciation over criticism. I am choosing someone who actually wants me around. I want you around, she said. You want me around because you are afraid of being alone. That is not the same thing. I went upstairs and pulled suitcases from the closet. When I came back down with them, she broke down completely. Please, she said. We can work this out. We can go to counseling. 8 years too late for that conversation. I said, I will get a job. I will contribute more. You should get a job, but not for me. For you. I set the suitcases in front of her. Start packing. I will not do it. Then I will do it for you. I went back upstairs and began filling the bags with her clothes. She followed, grabbing things from my hands. Stop. You cannot do this. Watch me. What about our vows? What about for better or worse? This is the worst, I said, and I have had enough of it. It took me 20 minutes to pack all her things. When I carried the last suitcase downstairs, she sat on the couch, sobbing. Where am I supposed to go? She asked. Your sister's. Your mother's. A hotel. I do not care. I do not have any money. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you spent 18 months tearing down the person who pays for everything. She looked up at me with desperate eyes. What if I promise to change? What if I prove I can be better? I am not interested in your promises anymore. I carried Ashley's suitcases to the front door. You have until noon tomorrow to get the rest of your things, I said. After that, I am changing the locks. You are really going to throw away 8 years of marriage. I am not throwing anything away, I said. You did that when you decided I was not worth keeping. I opened the door. Jessica was walking up her driveway. She saw the bags and understood right away. Need a hand, she called. Ashley shot her a look full of hate. This is all your fault. No, I said, steady. This is your fault. Jessica only had the courage to say what everyone else was thinking. Ashley grabbed a suitcase and stormed to her car. You will regret this. The only thing I regret is waiting this long, I said. After she drove off, Jessica walked over. Are you all right? Better than I have been in years. Good for you. That took guts. It took self-respect, I said. I forgot I had any for a while. She smiled. If you need anything, you know where to find me. I might take you up on that. I hope you do, she said. As she headed back home, I felt something I had not felt in a very long time. Hope. 3 weeks later, I was at the grill again. Jessica was in the kitchen tossing a salad, and the whole place felt different. No tension, no walking on eggshells. Just two people who liked being together. How is the neighborhood gossip mill treating you? She asked, lifting the bowl. Mixed reviews, I said with a laugh. Half the wives say I am a hero. The other half say I am a villain. The husbands give me a lot of knowing nods and ask for advice. My ex-wife had come by twice in those 3 weeks. Once to get more of her things. Once to beg me to change my mind. Both times I stayed firm. The divorce papers were already filed. Any regrets? Jessica asked. Only that I waited so long, I said. She smiled and kissed my cheek. I am not complaining about the timing. The doorbell rang. I checked the peephole. Ashley stood on the porch. She looked rough. Hair unwashed. Eyes red. Same clothes as 2 days ago. I opened the door, but did not invite her in. What do you want? I asked. I got a job, she said. At Target. I start Monday. I am trying to change. Good for you, I said. You should have done that 18 months ago. Please, can we talk? Without her listening? I could hear Jessica moving around in the kitchen, giving us space. There is nothing to talk about, I said. I made a mistake. One joke at a barbecue. You would throw away our whole marriage for that. It was not one joke, I said. It was 8 years of disrespect. The barbecue was the last straw. I will do anything. I will sign a prenuptial agreement if we get married again. I almost laughed. There is not going to be a next marriage. Because of her, she said. Because of you, I said. Her face crumpled. I heard you are dating her now. We are getting to know each other. She is not better than me. Actually, she is, I said. She appreciates what she has, instead of complaining about what she does not have. I can appreciate you too, she said. No, you cannot, I said. Deep down, you still think I am not enough. You are not here because you miss me. You are here because you are afraid to be alone. Tears streamed down her face. That is not true. Prove it, I said. Name one thing you love about me that has nothing to do with what I give you. She opened her mouth and then shut it again. We stood there in silence while she tried to find an answer. Nothing came. That is what I thought, I said. Take care of yourself. I started to close the door, but she pressed her hand against it. The neighbors all hate me now, she said quietly. That is not my problem. They think I am a terrible person. Maybe ask yourself why, I said. I never meant for any of this. Yes, you did, I said. You just never thought there would be consequences. I moved her hand away and closed the door. I stood there for a moment and listened to her cry. Then I heard her car start and pull away. Jessica stepped into the doorway from the kitchen. You good? Perfect. Liar, she said softly. That could not have been easy. It was easier than I expected, I said. I think I am done feeling guilty for wanting to be happy. She came over and wrapped her arms around me. Good. You deserve to be happy. So do you, I said. I am happy, she said. For the first time in years, I am with someone who actually wants me around. I kissed her forehead. Always. We went back to the kitchen to finish dinner. Working side by side, I realized this is what a partnership looks like. Mutual respect. Shared responsibility. Real affection. You know what is funny? Jessica said as she sprinkled the last of the croutons. What? She did me the biggest favor at that barbecue. How do you figure? She took the perfect man, put a bow on him, and handed him to me, she said. All I had to do was say yes. I laughed. When you say it like that, maybe I should thank her. Maybe we both should, Jessica said. Later, we sat on the back porch and watched the sun slide down behind the trees. Jessica's phone buzzed. Who was that? I asked. My ex-husband, she said, showing me the screen. He heard about us. What does he want? The message read, heard you upgraded. Good for you. Upgraded, she said with a little smile. From a man who took me for granted to a man who appreciates me. Yes, I would call that an upgrade. I pulled her closer. The feeling is mutual. You know the best part? She asked. What? I do not have to pretend to be grateful for basic human decency anymore, she said. And you do not have to apologize for being exactly who you are. As the last light faded, I realized that sometimes the best things grow out of the worst moments. Ashley's cruelty had set me free to find something real. And Jessica was right. She had upgraded. So had I.